Welcome everyone. Thank you for choosing to practice with me today. So this class is all about mobility, strength and balance, supporting the body to move with more ease, stability and awareness. You will be offered options throughout, so please listen to your body and take what feels right for you today. Let's begin by coming down onto the mat. Lie back comfortably and bring the soles of the feet together, knees opening out into a reclined butterfly. Allow your arms to rest wherever feels supportive, perhaps one hand on the belly, one on the heart, or to the sides of the torso. Take a few slow breaths here and notice how the body feels today without judgment. And I would like us to follow this affirmation. My body is wise and I listen with kindness. Let the breath soften the hips, the belly, and the jaw. And as we do that, repeat with me silently. My body is wise, and I listen with kindness. Now begin to move the knees slowly from side to side. And let the movement be easy and fluid, allowing the spine to gently release into the mat. So also this helps to lubricate the joints of the lower back and ease any tension held through the hips as well as the sacrum. Great, just a few more times like that. And then I want you to bring the knees back to center, the feet on the mat, hip width apart. And I want you now to gently engage the core by drawing the navel towards the spine. And also press the lower back into the mat, so it's really connected here. And firstly, hands stay down by your sides. And I want you to lift your shoulders and your head, so creating a little crunch here, really engaging the core. And we're going to repeat that a few times. And each time aiming to go a little bit higher. And now you have the option to keep your palms down, or perhaps to bring your arms to the sides of the body if you want. And if you would like to add on from here, you can also reach the arms overhead as you inhale, and as you exhale, sweep them forward as you lift into your crunch. And we're going to repeat that a few times. I want you to choose a variation that feels supportive for your body. But whatever variation you're doing, it will build deep core strength while keeping awareness in the lower back. So nice deep breath in as you come down and exhale with the effort as you crunch. Great, we have the last one. Exhale, crunch, and let's hold it here. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to release and draw the knees to the chest, just taking a very well-deserved break here. Pause and notice how the core feels. Perhaps strong, shaky, curious. Everything is welcome. Beautiful. So now we're going to release, and I want you to bring the knees up over the hips. Beautiful. Last 2 and 1. And then we're going to return to center. Draw the knees back towards the chest here, taking your break. Inhale deeply and exhale to release. Okay, now so the last thing we're going to do here is place the palms to the side of the body. So really placing the palms down and extending your legs forward. Then we're going to bend those knees back into hip distance apart. And then we're going to extend the legs forward. You don't have to go too low if you don't want to, especially if you feel like your lower back lifts. If you want to go lower, that's absolutely fine. So again, you're choosing your variation. And when you're ready, we're going to start. Inhale, knees in, and exhale to extend your legs, either hovering off the mat or a little bit higher. It doesn't really matter. You gain the exact same benefits, whatever variation of this position you're choosing to take. All I want you to do is see if you can close the eyes and connect with your body, connect with the core, and connect with your breath. Okay, we have the last one. Extend. And then we're going to draw the knees into the chest once again, taking a counter pose. Now I would like you to come back to center and grab hold of a block. Place it under the sacrum. And we're going to rest here into supported bridge. So this is a gentle inversion, and what it does is it allows blood flow to return from the legs, supports the lower back, and also offers a sense of ease after a core workout. So I want you, if you can here, to let the body feel held and placing your hands onto the lower abdomen, noticing all the core workout you've done. How does the core feel now here? Here as we are, we're going now to extend one leg. So extending your left leg and bringing your right knee all the way to the chest with your hands under the shin. And really squeezing the right knee into the chest while drawing the opposite leg all the way forward. And then alternate sides slowly. So bringing your left knee to the chest, extending your right leg. And keep continuing with this movement, creating a flow. And this movement here supports hip mobility and also helps release tension through the lower back and the pelvis, areas that often hold stress from sitting or standing for long periods of time. Beautiful. Once more, bringing now one knee to the chest, one forward. And now we're going to extend both legs up towards the ceiling, keeping that block underneath the sacrum still, and also keep a soft micro bend in the knees. We're going to start flexing the feet, then point the toes away. Repeating that a few times, perhaps rotating your ankles here. I want you to move slowly and intentionally. And this position also improves circulation, ankle mobility, and awareness through the legs, through the feet that support us all the way around. We walk on them, we run on them, they hold us. Beautiful. Now here we're going to release. I want you to remove the block from underneath the sit bones. Just place it to the side for now. And again, bringing the knees to the chest. And this time we're going to roll the spine all the way up and down. I want you to start building a momentum here. So finding the strength in your core and the force in your body to come into a seated position with the feet off the mat. So this is our boat pose. Arms can come to the side of the torso. You can keep them behind you for extra support. Keeping the quadriceps engaged, the core engaged, and the spine long. Hold it here for a few more breaths. So really continue with that core workout and strengthening. Beautiful. Now lowering all the way down into boat pose. Keep breathing. We're finding strength here while also learning to control and balance our body. Beautiful. Now bringing the legs in, starting to roll again, and I want you to find the real momentum now to come into a standing. So just trying here a few more times. Come into a standing position, into a chair pose, so arms forward, coming a little bit lower here, and starting to find some pulses. And as we're pulsing, also try here to bring the strength and the balance onto the heels in order to activate the thighs. Coming a little bit lower each time. Slow, supported movement. Wonderful. If you want, you can also bring your hands to the heart center for extra support. Keep going, you're doing great. And know it's a time now where the muscles are starting to feel fatigued, and that's when we have to continue. So all the way up and down. And we're going to hold it here. And then bring the arms over the head. Inhale, exhale, hands to the heart space. Coming into a forward fold, hands or fingertips onto the ground, releasing, halfway lift, inhale, flat back, gaze forward, and exhale, we're going to come up into a standing position, arms overhead, and exhale, hands to the heart space. We're going to find a moment here for reconnection, for coming back to ourselves, coming back to our body. Now from here, we're going to bring the arms forward and return into a chair pose. And this time we're going to do chair walks. So we're going to walk the feet backwards to the end of the mat and trying to stay as low as you can here. And when you reach the end of the mat, give me 2 pulses. And then we're going to move back forward in that same technique. So try to keep the glutes as low as you can here. And then 2 pulses and all the way back again. So this is the last time. Hold it, go as low as you can, really engaging the thighs, the core, finding the balance and keeping the gaze down. So end of the mat, 2 pulses, and then reaching the arms all the way up, stretch it out, exhale, hands to the heart space. Once again, inhale, arms up, exhale to the heart space, and now we're going to fold all the way down, nice and slow, allowing the body to feel heavy, reaching your palms down, bend the knees and walking your hands forward and coming into a plank pose. So this is the first variation. Second variation is to alternate knees, so dropping one knee down and then the other if the full plank feels a little bit too much. Wherever you are, we're going to hold it here, pushing the mat away from you, gaze in between the hands, nice and strong, all the way from the feet to the crown of the head. And then dropping the knees down, and we're going to come into our child's pose. So resting here, take time to breathe deeply and notice the body, contemplate how you're feeling right now. Are there any changes that you can trace here, anywhere in the body? Coming back to the breath. Beautiful. Now from here, we're going to come into a kneeling position. You can keep the hands onto the waist for extra balance. And optional, you can also curl the toes under for a bit more balance here as well. So what we're going to do is, first of all, step that left foot forward into a low lunge. So you can stay here, or you can also walk that foot a little bit further forward and allow that space to go a little bit deeper into your hip. Just making sure that your knees align with your ankle. And then bringing the arms up, inhale to lengthen. And exhale. Just finding your focus, making sure that you don't really have to bring the palms together. Shoulders away from the ears and just softening from the upper body. Wonderful. And now we're going to step the foot back and step the right foot this time forward. So we're going to come into low lunge, whichever variation that feels good in your body right now. And then sweep the arms up once again, lengthening through the spine. Locking the gaze somewhere that is available to you to find that balance. And then stepping the foot back. Okay, so now I want you to really engage the core, and we're going to start with that mobility. We're going to step that left foot forward, then back, then the right foot forward and back. So I want you really to find here the focus and control with your body. It's all about using our muscles to control that subtle movement. It might seem simple, but it can be quite a lot. Beautiful, just a few more times here. And then last one, with your left foot forward, we're going to sweep the arms up. Inhale, hold it here for a few more breaths. And then we're going to place the right palm onto the ground, lifting the left arm up, bringing the gaze up into a simple twist. And now we're going to start rotating the shoulders, so bringing your left arm all the way to the back and forward, drawing big circles back and forward. So this releases tension in the upper body and also improves shoulder mobility. So I really want you to bring your awareness here to the shoulder joint, keeping that heart forward and the spine long. Last one, arm comes up, inhale, and exhale, releasing, framing the top foot, placing your left foot all the way to the back into a plank pose. Inhale here, and exhale. One more breath, inhale, and exhale, stay nice and strong, then dropping the knees, the chest and the chin all the way down, opening through into upward facing dog, and exhale into downward facing dog, so coming into our opposite V shape. You can stay still or walk the feet, keeping your knees bent here as well, so we don't want to compromise the spine. The spine stays nice and long and the heels can face up. You don't have to bring the heels down. Lift the right leg up, bend the knee, and slowly draw circles with the hip here. Again, now targeting the hip mobility, nourishing the hip joint and release stored tension here. Your circles can be as slow as you want, as big as you want. There's no right or wrong here. Anything that feels good in your body. So let's repeat a few more times, drawing your awareness to the lower body and then placing the foot down, bending one knee at a time here. Now we're going to bring the gaze forward and step the right foot behind the left wrist. So we're going to come into deer pose, which means that we're going to bring that right hip down and both legs are in a 90-degree angle. So both knees are facing the hips. And then from here, we're going to switch all the way to the other side of the mat. So the back end of the mat from here. Another hip mobility challenge. So moving here with me, facing the back of the mat now. That's great. And then we're going to place the palms down and step back into a downward facing dog from here. Beautiful. So stretch it out once again. And then dropping the knees down. And let's return into a child's pose, our reflection pose here. So noticing how the body is feeling. It's always good to come back to yourself. We're not practicing for the sake of practicing. Okay, now let's come back into kneeling. You can curl the toes under again if you want here to find your balance, hands to the waistline, and then walking your right foot forward. So either walking it a little bit further forward to sink the hips down. Low lunge, lift the arms up, hold it here for 2 more breaths. Wonderful. And then taking your simple twist, so your right arm comes all the way up towards the sky, or the ceiling in our case. Gaze comes up. And then we're going to start again with that shoulder mobility. So bringing your arm all the way to the back and forward. Repeating a few times here. Noticing the difference between this side in comparison to the other one. Is there a little bit more tension here? Is everything fine? Beautiful. Just a final few rounds. And then bringing your arm up. Then framing the foot as you're bringing your right palm down and stepping back into plank pose. Let's hold it here nice and strong. Remember, you can always drop the knees if you need to. And then 8 limbed yoga, so dropping knees, chest and chin, sliding forward, upward facing dog with your inhale. And exhale back into downward facing dog. So knees can stay bent and try to bring the heart towards the tops of the thighs, so really opening through the heart space. Spine is nice and tall. Now lifting your left leg. We're going to bend the knee and then start with those hip circles again. So really targeting that hip joint mobility. Again, what I like doing here is noticing the differences or even similarities between the two joints, the right and the left. Noticing what is it I can do different here to help me a little bit more. And it is with those internal conversations where you find more about your body, about yourself. And dropping the left foot back down. And then if you want, you can also bend one knee at a time, removing any tension from the back of the legs, the calves, the hamstrings. So just walk it out. Beautiful, gaze forward. Now if you want, you can jump forward or walk forward. Halfway lift, inhale, flat back, and exhale, forward fold. So now we're going to come into a yogic squat. So walk the feet, heel to the feet, to the edges of the mat. So the toes and knees are facing forward, and then sink the hips down. Hands can come into Anjali Mudra to the heart space. But if you think that you cannot come all the way down, you can always place a block under the sit bones if needed. So just to find here a little bit more support. And if the heels are up, you can also wrap the mat a little bit to create that extra height, or even place 2 blocks under your heels. I'm going to pivot here so you can see me, so I can face the screen. And if you're going, you can also sway sideways gently, adding any movement in this position that feels good in your body right now. This is a relaxing position, and I always like looking at it almost like a meditative position, so it should feel grounding. It should feel relaxing, and at the same time is such a treasure for hip mobility, for our pelvic health, and also for our digestion. So close the eyes and just do anything that feels good in your body right now within this pose, either moving sideways or staying still. And listening to the breath, returning to the breath here. Open the eyes. Bringing the palms down, and we're going to come into a seated position. It doesn't matter which side of the mat you're facing now. And then we're going to extend the legs forward and let's grab hold of the block. So we're going to place the block to the right side of the mat in a way that it's not the flat surface. A flat surface is facing the screen such on the side. Okay, and then from here we're going to keep the spine nice and tall, engage the core and place the hands behind you. Point the toes and then lift the right leg and move it over the block and then to the other side. So just keep moving here a few times, keeping the core working and engaging. So this builds hip strength, great coordination and mobility. So today, it's all about mobility. It's especially important as well for balance. So just a few more times, going a little bit higher each time if you can. And then releasing. You've done great. So bend both knees and just rest here for a moment with your spine slightly rounded as a counter pose. And then when you're ready, we're going to move the block to the other side now. We're going to extend the legs again, hands to the side of the body behind you, wherever is most comfortable for you. And lift your left leg, move it over the block and back to the other side. Repeating a few times and noticing what parts of the body of your muscles are engaging here. Apart from the core, what else is there? The quadriceps, the calves, the shin. So just really noticing the body and the work it takes for this movement. Beautiful. Just a few more times. That's great. Well done. So we're going to move now the block to the side after opted, move it back to the side and coming back into a counter pose. So resting in this position. This is a reflection as well of taking notice of your body and the work that we have just done. Beautiful. Now from here we're going to release and lie back. And we're going to take a spinal twist. So we want to bring the arms to the sides of the body, other extended or into cactus, crossing your left leg over the right and coming into a spinal twist. Optional to also bring a block underneath your left knee for extra support, especially there's a big gap between the knee and the floor here. Lastly, turn the head to the opposite direction of where the knees are facing. Let the body soften. So this is the time where we are activating the parasympathetic nervous system. There is minimal movement coming our way. It's all about restoration and relaxation. It's all about awakening those levels of rejuvenation that we created throughout the practice today. Great, now we're going to release and let's take it to the other side. Shuffle the buttocks to the right side. You can move the block along with you if you want to use it, crossing the right leg over the left and bringing the knees down, or perhaps right knee supported under a block. And then turning the gaze to the other direction, closing the eyes or softening the eyes here. And this is such a beautiful movement to do, to soften the lower back, to release any last remaining tension in the lumbar spine, and allow the shoulders here to melt, to feel heavy. Beautiful. Now we're going to come back to center, release from our simple twist. And we're going to return into our final position, Shavasana corpse pose. So extend the legs forward, allow the feet to fall flat to the edges of the mat. And here, before we completely find a stillness, you can also choose to place a block under the head, flat or perhaps slightly angled. So I'm going to choose a second option, slightly angled, as you can see here. So just adding a little bit of pressure in the back of the head. So resting the arms back down and then gently move the head side to side. So what we're doing essentially here is, before we come into complete stillness, we add this massaging technique to the back of the neck, so giving a bit of a different experience here and a way to release a little bit more tension where it's usually held so much in that area of the body. So gently move the head side to side, releasing tension in the upper shoulders even and the fascia. It's a wonderful way to ease stress and even headaches. So now you have the option to either keep the block here if you want, either in this slight angled position or perhaps flat, or remove it completely and settle into Savasana. And here, remember, there is nothing more that you need to do. There is nothing to fix, change, or achieve. Feel the natural rhythm of your breath, steady, effortless, and let the work of the practice soften into the body, into the nervous system, into this quiet moment. Notice the subtle sense of space you have created through movement, breath, and attention. And gently, let's return to the affirmation that we began with, and repeat silently with me here. My body is wise, and I listen with kindness. Allow these words to land softly. There is no need to force them. Simply allow them to be felt. And rest here, trusting your body to integrate everything it needs from this practice. Trusting that this awareness can move with you beyond the mat and into your day. You can stay here for as long as you want, but if you feel ready, begin to deepen the breath and to invite small movements back into the fingers and the toes, rotating your ankles, your shoulders. Take your time here to start awakening the body up. Perhaps moving the hips. You can move the head and then bend the knees here. And you can draw them in towards the chest. Rocking sideways if you want, massaging the lumbar spine for the final moment in this practice. And then blinking the eyes open. And when you're ready, we're going to roll and come into a seated position. And let's bring the palms to the heart space here. I want us to really return to the body and to this sensation that you're feeling right now. And this is a feeling that you can always create in your body and you can always find here. And I want you to carry it for the rest of the day, this sense of balance and rejuvenation and peace that you have created. Thank yourself for taking this time, for choosing movement, awareness, and care. And thank you for choosing me to be part of your practice today. I hope you have a nice rest of your day, and I will see you again.